But let's go to Limpopo, where the former Transport Deputy Minister's Dikeledi Magadzi's funeral is currently underway. She's being buried in a special provincial official funeral category 2. Magadzi died on the 28th of December at the age of 70. Her funeral service is taking place at the Jack Botha Hall in Polokwane. Magadzi was a member of parliament from 2014 to 2023. During those 9 years, she chaired the Portfolio Committee on Transport and later became a Deputy Minister of Transport as well as Water and Sanitation. SABC News reporter Katlego Nyoni joins us live. Now, Katlego, we have quite a packed program this morning. When we at last dipped into the funeral, we had seen at least the sermon, or at least a prayer was underway there by Captain Reverend Sifora. Where in the program are we now?
Indeed, there, Oliver, part 3 of this funeral service has just started, which is a private funeral service where she will be buried, the late Deputy Transport Minister rather. She will be buried at the Silicon Cemetery in Polokwane. Now that is private, only our family members as well as several dignitaries, including Provincial, the Premier of Limpopo, Dr. Poppy Ramathuba, have access to that private burial. So part 3 has just certainly started. The cortege has just left this hall on its way about 10 kilometers from where we are to a local cemetery where she will be officially laid to rest. As you can see, some of the mourners are still waiting outside the Jack Botha Hall. Earlier on, we spoke to Human Settlements Minister Thembi Nkadimeng, who described her as a selfless leader who essentially nurtured the majority of the current leaders, including the Premier Poppy Ramathuba. I'm standing with someone who worked closely with Dikeledi Magadzi and a former MEC here in the Limpopo province, that is Mr. Siaparo Sekwati. Thank you so much, sir, for your time on the SABC News channel. How will you remember Mayor Dikeledi Magadzi?
Thank you. Mayor Dikeledi Magadzi has been one of those bravest women who pre-liberation has taken upon herself to contribute towards the liberation of this country. We know that she has played various roles in making sure that we are also able to attain liberation. Her contribution has been immense in that area, and post-liberation she has also shown the capability that she has had through the various positions that she has held, but also the contribution that she has held, the number of programs that she has run that would bring about transformations in the lives of our people. And I think it's one of those women that need to be celebrated because her life has been purposeful, and as a province I believe that we have lost one of the most capable people that we have ever had.
We've had different speakers really mentioning how dedicated she was to her craft and that she was disciplined and essentially was extraordinary in whatever role that she served under. What's your recollection?
Well, I have been privileged to work with her in the Executive Council of the province, and she had at that level shown indeed that she is capable, she is knowledgeable, but as well she is committed to the transformation of the lives of the people, but also in terms of transforming this province, because where we are coming from as a province, we have been one of the most poorest, the most impoverished. But if we look at the infrastructure that we have, it's part of what she has actually contributed, as because she had at some point been responsible for the infrastructure in this province, and at that level she has as well ably led, but as well contributed immensely.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sekwati. There you have it. That's one of the former MECs in the Limpopo Provincial Legislature, Mr. Siaparo Sekwati, reflecting on the legacy of the late Dikeledi Magadzi. Well, right now there is a private ceremony, a private burial rather, that is currently taking place at a local ceremony. We saw during part 2 of this specific program her son, one of her sons, Wisani Magadzi, giving really a moving tribute to his late mother. There was also a eulogy address by the Premier of Limpopo, Dr. Poppy Ramathuba, and several speakers, as I've mentioned, also speaking there about the life and times of the late Dikeledi Magadzi. Oliver?
Katlego, thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate it. Katlego Nyoni coming to us live there from the Jack Botha Hall. where the funeral of the late Dikeledi Magadzi had taken place. And of course, the funeral procession is on its way to the gravesite now, where only family and select dignitaries, as Katlego told us there, will be able to be a part of that. And of course, we know that a SEPS ceremonial guard will also be performed at the funeral gravesite.